see who's in, if it's a panelist. John, so that's probably John Cunningham, promote to panelist. Chris, do you know if we're expecting Kathy for minutes or should I plan to take them? It doesn't matter. I think it.
I'm already on.
Oh, sorry. I must have the non-video. Yep, there. That's helpful. Sorry, Kathy.
No worries.
Okay. Unless anybody knows of someone else. Oh, wait, who's in attendees? Okay, Allison, promote to panelist. Okay, I'll give 1 second for that. All right, so hi everybody. Let me just find, oh, recording's already started. I must have done that a different day when I was smart. Set it up automatically. So I will call to order this meeting of the Robbins School Building Committee for Tuesday, October 7th. We are being recorded and the recordings have been being sent to WestfordCAT and displayed on their channels. So just a reminder of that. Our agenda calls for a moment of public comment. I do not see anybody in the waiting room, so unless there's any announcement somebody would like to make. Okay, I'm going to move on to meeting minutes. Hopefully everybody had a chance to look them over. Those are from the full committee on August 12th. Any feedback or edits on that set? If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
So moved, Kristen Lass.
Thank you,
Second.
Chris. Okay. Okay, all those in favor, Tom?
Aye.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, jumped in, Tom. Maybe she meant you.
Tom Wimberg. Let's
Aye.
start there. Kristen?
Aye.
I'm an aye before I forget myself. Lindsay?
Aye.
Chris, Dutch Chu?
Aye.
Jeff Goodwin? I'm just going to say everybody's last names. Kevin Lacoste?
Aye.
Okay, there's only one Allison. Allison?
Aye.
John Leffers?
Aye.
And then one vote from either John Cunningham or Tom Clay. John is online on his iPad. I don't know if he's planning to vote. He's off video.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, Tom's going to approve.
Yeah,
Okay,
Tom
great.
is the select board main person. John is the alternate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
had it backwards. Okay, and then the next two sets are from the OPM Evaluation Committee. Two sets of meeting minutes from our meetings September 16th and September 24th. Any feedback or edits from that subcommittee? Or motions to approve? Can do them in one fell swoop together.
So moved.
Thank you, Lindsay. And a second. Thank you. Okay. All those in favor, Kristen?
Aye.
I'm an aye. Dr. Chu?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Yes.
Great. Okay. I don't see Steve, so we'll do 4-0 on those. Okay, great. That stuff's out of the way. So today's meeting is really a bit of a formality to check in on the owner's project manager process. We are scheduled to submit our entire owner's project. I keep saying it just in case someone watching doesn't know what OPM stands for. Owner's project manager package and selection to the MSBA tomorrow is our deadline in order for them to give them enough time to review the package in advance of their board meeting on November 3rd. So if you've been reading my updates, the OPM Evaluation Committee has gone through a really extensive process, whittling down those 10 proposals and shortlist ranking all of those individually. All of that scoring was sent to you in an email. It was like based on 11 criteria. It was very thorough. And out of that, we chose three shortlist firms to interview. That happened, was that last Wednesday? Yeah. And then we've begun negotiations with the highest rank firm out of all of those steps. So the MSBA is very prescriptive about how much information they want from this. If any of you had some free time and perused the multi-page document that was redlined and attached, you can see how much they want to know about that we do our due diligence and all of that process and document every step of that.
Valerie,
And yep,
I just want to interrupt for 1 second. I think you said it was last Wednesday, but it was actually the
just
Wednesday before. It was the 24th,
thanks. I
just
was
in
trying to,
case, as people are paying attention. Yeah.
I appreciate that. So there is the document that dictates every step that I'm explaining. The MSBA group reviews that and uses that um, as sort of their package to allow us to move forward with our selected firm. Did anyone have any questions or feedback on that process or that document? Kristen, did you want to add anything?
I can certainly step in once we start talking about the Vertex proposal and fee, but I don't have anything to add to your summary. Thank you.
Yeah, John?
Yeah, I saw there was a note that came through separately, but I think just kind of thinking from a high level, I wanted to I flipped through this document, but I didn't see a section about potential conflicts, like any potential conflicts of interest, either people on the board or select board or other types of things like that.
Yeah, we documented in the meeting minutes when we were
Mhm.
selecting, and I've combed over the MSBA document multiple times. I don't see where they have that, but I I don't think there's harm in adding something if or we could always forward that question to our MSBA rep. Why don't we do that as a first step and see if that's something they prefer to have written somewhere.
Hmm.
But I appreciate that. Are you disclosing any
No, I
connection?
just
Oh, okay.
I'm just looking forward to any discussions about the selection process and if there's I guess you might say if there's interested parties in the community that may feel disappointed by the selection, then I think it would be helpful to to have a documented or at least a thought through sort of response to that if that comes up.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, John, for raising that. Better to think it through ahead of time than.
I think so.
Yeah, great. And yeah, so I think Kristen, if you want to step in with how the negotiations have been going and the proposal.
Sure. So just to dovetail off of Valerie's comments, the review committee ranked the three firms that we interviewed. The first ranked firm was Vertex. And the Friday after the interviews, I spoke with the project manager and project director that we would like to move forward with them and had them prepare a scope based upon their fee. They then submitted that scope to us last Tuesday. To be honest, it was a lot higher than what we had in our budget. Lindsay, myself, and Mike Edwards reviewed that proposal, and we had a back and forth conversation with Vertex. After some investigation and review, what we're learning is that the MSBA is not advertising the full cost of the OPM services at the feasibility study stage. A lot of the OPMs are actually deferring some of the payment to the project construction phase. And we took the majority of our information for cost estimating from the MSBA documents. And Lindsay, please correct me or step in if you want me to reevaluate. After 2 or 3 back and forths with Vertex, understanding their fees, understanding our schedule a little bit more, where we are, understanding the needs that we would like a redistricting consultant on board, because this is a very complicated matter where we may be redistricting schools, and that we will likely be investigating 2 sites. A third is only a possibility. They have brought back a fee proposal where we have taken $50,000 out of our contingency to fund the OPM fee proposal. We started with $150,000. The OPM recommends that we keep $100,000 in that contingency fund. One, if we want to investigate a geothermal well at our top site. And 2, just in case there's any other contingencies related to site work or architectural fees. They also felt, based upon the work that they've done with designers, that we could come down from our $900,000 designer fee to $850,000. And then we would augment that with the $272,000 that we have allocated for the site civil, that likely will be rolled up into the designer fee as well. So at the end of the day, we just received a proposal from Vertex for a total of $356,820. That includes the base fee. It includes $40,000 for cost estimates, $20,000 for redistricting consultant, and $5,000 for the OPM reimbursables. What it also caveats that if this is discounted 35%, if we are to go towards construction, we would be asking for that in our ask to town meeting. If we do not go to construction or that vote fails, Vertex would not recoup the 35% discount at that point in time. Again, they stated that they've done this on many, many projects over the recent past. They're comfortable with this. We did not put forward this proposal at all. It came directly from them. I've spoken to Lindsay about this and her comfort level, and this is what we have to propose for you today.
Nothing to add, Kristen.
Great. And I just pulled up the budget so everyone could remind themselves of what we had asked town meeting for. Does anyone have any questions after that? I'm not seeing any. Okay. So I think it's probably just sort of a housekeeping matter that the committee shows their support for this top ranked firm, that we sort of put a little bow on that with a vote. So I'm looking for a motion and a second to pursue, to enter into a contract. Oh, John, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just had a couple questions, a couple high-level questions again. This is kind of a new world for me. I don't know these vendors, and even this process is brand new to me. So just curious about Vertex, whether it looks like some members of the committee have worked with them before, so they're a known entity. They look like a relatively large firm, and I imagine they have a good, reputation to be landing on the top of our list. Do we know if Vertex has done projects before for the MSBA?
Yes, they have. So in their proposal, they submitted all of the projects that they've done for the MSBA. Also, as part of this process, with the 3 firms that we interviewed, we all called references as well. Mm-hmm. And many of those references were for projects that have been in the MSBA pipeline.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, no, please ask any questions. And I'm sorry if I kind of glossed that over as part of the that narrative document as I was explaining that. But Vertex actually even has a history working with the town of Westford before too. So they performed they performed the best in the interviews, which is why they came out as the highest ranking. And they were one of our top 3 after scoring all of the proposals. So, but I just made a note to myself to share the actual proposal of services from Vertex with you. I'm sorry, that kind of slipped my mind to make sense to email ahead of time. So you guys will all be able to see. It's actually a really cool document to see, past experiences that they have, how they are putting their core team proposals forward. There's things in there about timelines. You know, there's a lot of information, and you're lucky you only have to look at one of them and not 10 of them. But yes, I apologize for that miss, and we'll definitely share that with the full team.
No worries, and I think that you know, when you're going in front of the select board for these kinds of matters, maybe just having a slide or two on who Vertex is, what work they've done before for the city, just kind of list out their bona so that way anybody who's watching will understand that we didn't, you know, just pick
Reputable.
a name
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
a hat, and these
Yep.
people are established. They've done this before. They've done this before with us. They've done this before with the MSBA. They're a known entity who gets stuff done. So
Yep.
I might save us some energy in the future as well.
Yeah, and I think the other thing we can add is that MSBA is going to approve this as well. It's not just us as a committee. So we can't say, yes, Vertex, go. We need that added layer from the MSBA because they are putting skin in the game as well.
Yeah, and I think that's really for this project in general. I think that's really important to communicate to the community at large, is that this is a very I guess sort of rigorous process. You know, both to be selected and also to have you know, and to have our selection for OPM also approved. It is rigorous, and it's not just you know, we're not just throwing darts at a wall or something, and they're not just saying okay to everything. So
Yeah. Great points, Sean. Appreciate that. Lindsay?
Yeah, just wanted to say, we called references, and the references for Vertex were very strong. The districts we spoke to had really positive things to say about the firm as a whole, as well as the individuals who will be working on our project.
And I just even think to Dr. Chu and Kristen and Lindsay, if you have anything else to add from why they were top ranked. I know I was personally very impressed with, out of the 3 firms that interviewed, Vertex really understood the educational impact of this project, and that it involves considering different districting efforts, possible grade level configurations. What does that mean for this grade? What does that mean for this part of the town? If you had a new building, do you have K to 2 over here and 3 to 5 over here, or do you mix K to 5? Like, they really understood all the nuances that, and I kind of made that joke in one of the interviews, that everybody thinks their baby is the most special. Like, I feel like this project is so unique and special. And they seem to really get that and spoke to that very strongly.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that as well, Valerie. Like, when we looked at all of the proposals in general, that was also super rigorous, as we were looking at very specific criteria, and we all independently ranked all of them, and then we took the 3 that had the top numbers. And what Vertex did in those interviews was they spoke most specifically to our project. And they really, not only did they talk about understanding I think the various needs of the project, but they had clear examples of where they have done that work elsewhere. So not only were they ready to talk about redistricting, they showed us the examples of where they've already answered similar questions to that with other communities. And because I think, you know, there were pros with all of the presentations, but theirs just rose to the top because of their specificity with how they understood what we were asking in general, which I thought was excellent.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would just say we know that they've had a lot of experience with separate designers as well who have built schools. That was a huge factor. And a huge factor is also fit, right? We were able to engage in a conversation with Vertex about our project at that point in time, where we didn't feel that we had that specifically with the other 2 firms that we interviewed. And we were already, you know, engaging and talking about our project and our needs and our desires, and got that fit as well, which you can't tangibly, you know, feel that, you know, can't tangibly write that down as a score per se, but that fit was there for the town of Westford.
Excellent. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I thank you for the question. I think that was valuable to have documented in the minutes and for anyone watching. So I appreciate that added conversation. I did just hit send so that you'll see that hit your inboxes. And we will obviously, once we move forward with Vertex. So let me just we'll kind of step out for a second for next steps, and then we'll circle back to get that motion in second. So I think I mentioned it in the opening, but the next steps will really be that the MSBA reviews this whole package, and then I keep calling it a board, their OPM review panel, I think it's technically called. They meet on November 3rd to review it. They meet once a month to do that. I actually listened to yesterday's to get a feel for what other districts go through, and just so we could have some insider knowledge on what that process looks like. The OPM firm themselves will actually give a short presentation to the MSBA review panel, and then they ask a couple questions and put sort of a thumbs up on it. They don't take a formal vote, but they do sort of allow you to move forward with that choice. So that would be November 3rd. So we don't officially have their services until that contract gets executed after that November 3rd date. So that's just so everybody knows what's next. I think it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the committee to meet until then. I don't think there will be a lot happening in November. Sorry, until that date, so the rest of October. But let me know if you have any thoughts on that.
I'll just also add, we're going to be putting this on the select board agenda for October 14th for them to authorize the signatory of the contract if MSBA votes, because the select board will not be having a meeting in November until I believe the 18th due to the holiday. So we don't want to hold anything up. So we will be seeing that and before the November 3rd date.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions on any part of anything I've said? Okay. So again, just to circle back to taking putting this committee's support behind the recommendation from the OPM evaluation subcommittee to move forward with Vertex as our top firm. So I'll take a motion for the committee to support moving forward. How did I just word it? Sorry. For the committee to support moving forward with Vertex for OPM services.
So moved.
Thank you, Tom. Put me out of my misery,
Seconded.
please.
Seconded.
I'm not trying to say it again.
And John second. Great. Okay. Lindsay. All those in favor, Lindsay.
Yes.
I'm an aye. Kristen.
Aye.
Tom Wimberg.
Aye.
Dr. Chu.
Aye.
Jeff Goodwin.
Aye.
Kevin.
Aye.
Allison.
Aye.
Tom Clay.
Aye.
John Leffers.
Aye.
Great. Okay. So we've already talked about next steps and future meetings. So expect to hear from me. Actually, probably just the 11th, the Tuesdays in November, the first one that would make sense. If it takes a couple days for signatures after the 3rd, then maybe the 11th makes sense, but that's Veterans Day, so maybe we can aim for meeting on the 18th, or do you think start right after on the 4th? What's your instinct, Lindsay or Kristen?
I think we should have a check-in on the 4th, just to report back what happened with MSBA. If we need to authorize any signatures or do anything different, we can then go right away, because then the OPM will jump right in with helping us with the RFS for the designer services.
Okay.
That makes
It
sense.
is a no school day, just saying that out loud in case Kevin and Dr. Chu are otherwise.
It's a professional development day, so I mean,
Okay.
we can potentially, I don't know. I would be available. Kevin, you might have something you're doing, but we'll see.
Okay. We'll aim for this 12 o'clock slot, so maybe that works in your professional development. Okay. All right, so let's plan for the 4th at 12 p.m. All right. Any other questions? Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Tom and
Second.
us. Great. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Good work.
Appreciate
Bye.
it.
Rob?
Meeting adjourned.